luckily, we have someone here to advise us on handling those messy coworkers and other tough etiquette situations. Amanda Wolfe is here. She's from Ladies Home Journal. She's their senior editor. And Amanda's got some steps to get us through those social minefields. Literally a minefield. That office sounds like it was a minefield, right?
Definitely.
I think I used to sit next to someone like that at one point in my career.
Yeah.
That's a tough situation because you see the shows about the hoarders, and a lot of people will watch from afar. It's entertaining. But when it's right there in your own backyard, in the office, that's a little difficult. Can you say something to the person?
Right. I mean, it's always hard to tell another adult, hey, clean up, clean up your room. I mean, it feels weird.
Yeah.
But when you're in contact with it and it's kind of affecting your mental health, it's affecting maybe even your job performance to have to work amidst all that chaos, you really have to
obviously
say something.
Because it's comfortable for them and not comfortable for you.
Right.
So one of your first plans is that you will actually, you don't wait for an answer, you just do it, but you say a little something to go along with that, right?
Yeah, you have to just go for it. So the first plan is to be more straightforward and come right out and say, hey, look, I know it might sound crazy to you, but I really can't work and unless we clean up a little bit. So how about you go wash the mugs and I'll start working on these piles.
The other plan that you have is to be a little more passive aggressive though, right?
Sometimes this is the way to go, especially if you're not comfortable saying something to them. So, basically you kind of clean up when they're not around.
Right.
Don't drastically reorganize their sort of personal stuff, but all the stuff that's encroaching into your area, just try to clean it up a little bit, and if they do kind of finally say something, you would give your speech about how you can't work in all the chaos.
That's when the big dividers and the cubicles come into play. Just put it right there in the middle. That should be a clear sign. Okay.
Exactly.
We're going to move on to another tough situation here. You've got a friend who wants to borrow money. Most people say flat out it's a no-no, but it can be awkward if they're asking you for the money.
Right. I mean, we can all be a little weird about money sometimes. And borrowing money tends to make a relationship of equals into something that's a little messier.
Yeah.
So if your instincts are raising a red flag and you're thinking, or you really don't have the money, honestly, you have to say no.
Okay.
But avoid trying to just say, oh, I don't have the money right now. Because they might ask you again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like if you're not straightforward the first time, you might, if you just say, oh, I don't have the money, but then next week maybe you do.
I'm eternally broke.
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
no money.
So you have to just come clean and say, I'm really sorry, but it's been my experience that it really screws things up, and I don't want that to happen to our friendship. So I hope you'll understand.
And then what if you decide to lend them the money? You say, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, you can, absolutely. It's your choice, and especially if your friend doesn't have a reputation as a mooch.
Right.
And you have the cash. But I would only do it once and make it clear that this is a one-time thing. And
I would say there has to be some boundaries where you say, look, I can give you the money, but I have to have it back within a month or something like that.
Exactly. And honestly, usually friends should sort of stay out of each other's finances, but if you want to be nice and do it, try to put those boundaries, like you said.
Okay, speaking of boundaries, this one's a toughie. One of the readers in the magazine has a friend who insisted on throwing her a 40th birthday party, but she does not want the party for whatever reason. She just doesn't want it. You say that the friend probably has two motivations for doing this.
Right. The first motivation is that some people really just love to throw parties. And this is a big milestone. They're excited for you. But, if it comes at the expense of your inner peace, you just have to say no.
Okay, got it.
The other motivation, though, is that these are your friends and they want to celebrate with you and they want to show their love and affection to you. And that you should really honor.
Okay. And is there a point where you can say, hey, look, I just don't want all the attention on. I just don't want to do that and feel okay with saying that?
That's what you have to say. And if they're really your friends, they'll totally understand and maybe suggest, they could plan something small or more low-key, so a spa day or lunch, but not the big, crazy, blowout.
They probably want you to plan a party for them later on down the line. That's the motivation. Thank you so much, Amanda. Good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
Well, you can also get answers to other social etiquette questions in Ladies Home Journal. You can also go to their website. I saw that. There's a lot of good info on there. LHJ.com. We'll be right back.